This tutorial is for 4th grade, Module 6, Lesson 3. In this lesson, we're going to use place value discs to relate decimals to whole numbers. I have two sections here on my screen. The first section is asking me how many tenths in all in this picture. So I have place value discs, and each disc has a tenth on it. 0.1 represents 1/10. They are grouped, so I can see that I have 10 tenths here, another 10 tenths here, so that's 20 tenths, and then 8 tenths in my final grouping. Altogether, I have 28 tenths, each disc representing 1/10. Now we're going to write the same amount in the next section, but we're going to use 1/2 and tenths. The first group that I circled over here was 10 tenths. 10 tenths is the same as 1/2. So this group represents 1/2. The second group also represents 1/2 because it is also 10 tenths. So I'll draw another 1/2 disc for that group. Beyond that, I have 8 more tenths. I can't change those 8 tenths into anything, so I'm just going to redraw them on the other side of the chart here. So I have 8 more tenths. So there are my 8 tenths. That means in decimal form, I have two whole numbers. Those are my two discs at the top, and then 8 discs that are tenths. How much more is needed to get to 3 wholes? That's what that 3 is asking, 3 wholes. Well, I need 2 more tenths to give me a complete set of 10 tenths to get to 3 wholes. So I need 2 more tenths to get to 3 wholes. Here's another example. I have some tenths. I need to first show how many tenths I have altogether. Again, they've been grouped. So here's 10 tenths, another set of 10 tenths, and one more set of 10 tenths. So altogether there I have 30 tenths, and then I have 3 more. That means in all I have 33 tenths. Each disc represents 1/10. Now we'll change those over into ones and tenths. My first group of 10 tenths can be represented as 1/2. My second group of 10 tenths can also be represented as 1/2, and my third group of 10 tenths can be represented as 1/2. And then I just have my 3 leftover tenths that I can't change. So I'll draw those over here. That means in decimal form, I have 3 wholes represented by those top discs and 3 tenths represented by the bottom discs. Now, how many more do I need to get to 4 wholes? Well, I only have 3 tenths in that last group. I need 10 tenths in all to get to my next whole number, so that means I would need 7 more tenths to get to my next whole number, or to get to 4 wholes in all. The next section says to show the expanded form of the number in fraction form and in decimal form. The first problem has been done for us. The number was 4 tens, 2 ones, and 6 tenths. In fraction expanded form, that means that I have 4 groups of 10, 2 groups of 1, and 6 groups of 1/10. Altogether, that would be 40 plus 2 plus 6 tenths, or 42 and 6 tenths as a mixed numeral. In decimal form, I still have 4 groups of 10, because those are whole numbers, that's not going to change, 2 groups of 1, and now I'm going to show 6 groups of 1/10 as a decimal. Well, 6 groups of 1/10 is the same as 6 tenths. Combine that again with my 40 and my 2, and I get 42 and 6/10 as a decimal. My next problem is 110, 7 ones, and 5/10. In fraction form, that would be one group of 10 plus 7 groups of 1 plus 5 groups of 1/10. One group of 10 would be 10, 7 groups of 1 would be 7, 5 groups of 1/10 would be 5/10. Combine those and I get an answer of 17 and 5/10. In decimal expanded form, I'd still start off with one group of 10 plus 7 groups of 1, but now I will take 5 groups of 1/10. That means I have 10 and 7 and 5/10. Combine those and I get 17 and 5/10 in decimal form. In the next section, we have a chart relating decimal and fraction forms to points on a number line, and we're to fill in the missing parts of the chart. So I have to start by looking at the information I'm given. On this first one, I'm given the mixed number 3 and 9/10. Well, let's think about where that would fall on a number line. 3 and 9/10 is in between the whole numbers of 3 and 4. This unit has been divided into 10 sections, so 9/10 would be at this point because each of these sections is 1/10. So here's where the point 3 and 9/10 would fall on a number line. As a decimal, I would write that same number as 3 decimal point 9, 3 and 9/10. I need to write it in expanded form, and I can do either fraction or decimal form. I'm going to start with this one in fraction form. So that means I would have 3 groups of 1 plus 9 groups of 1/10, and that would give me 3 and 9/10. The last column asks how much to get to the next one. If we go back to our number line, it would take me one more tenth to get to my next whole number, and that's why we have 1/10 here written as a decimal to show how much it takes to get to the next whole. Let's do one more problem. Here my number is in between 17 and 18. This whole unit has been divided into 10 equal pieces. My dot is in the halfway point, so that would be 5/10. So as a mixed number, I would represent that as 17 and 5/10. As a decimal, that would be 17 decimal point 5. To write this in expanded form and decimal form, that means that we have one group of 10 plus 7 groups of 1 plus 5 groups of 1/10. That's where I get my 5/10. When you combine all of those, you get 17 and 5/10. Now, how many do we need to get to the next whole number? You can go back to your number line and see from here to here would be 5 more tenths. That would get you to 18. So we still need 5 more tenths to reach the next whole number.